Hello everyone and welcome to Disney WTF, where we talk about what's the fuss about Disney. I'm Richie and I'm here with my partner in good deeds, Lori, and she's a Disney lover and I just don't get it, but somehow we figured out a way to make this relationship work. We're leaving that one in, I'm not doing that.
Okay, that's good. All right, cool.
Headlines.
So first thing we're going to do is some Disney headlines. So kind of to go off of what our last episode was, our trip report, we went to Animal Kingdom and saw Pandora, the world of Avatar, for the first time. And we saw a lot of the mechanical banshees that people are wearing on their shoulder.
Yes.
Well, apparently cool. They're sold out. And Disney says that they're not going to get them in for weeks.
Really?
Yeah.
So they're like a collector's item right now. It's hot on... it's like you can probably get one right now for like $100 probably on eBay because it's sold out.
That was a missed opportunity. We should have just
we
racked up.
We could have bought 5 and sold a bunch.
Yeah. So, and we didn't know when we were walking around the park what they did, but apparently the wings move, they make noises.
Yeah.
You control it off of a little remote. It comes in 10 assorted colors.
Like the next one is going to be a drone for sure. It's going to be a drone that's going to land on your shoulder. That'd be really cool.
A Banshee drone.
Yeah.
That would be pretty cool,
yeah.
Actually, if you can maneuver that.
Yeah.
All right. And then the next little piece of news is Disney Parks attendance in the U.S. is down.
Really?
Yeah. It was down from 2015 to 2016. It went down.
When you say Disney Parks, Walt Disney World or?
Disney Parks in the U.S. So... The ones that I read, and it was on a headline in Fortune magazine, and the ones that I read was Magic Kingdom was down 0.5% in attendance, so,
Wow.
But Disneyland was down 1.8% in California. Mm-hmm.
I wonder why.
Well, here's something else that they put in the article.
Okay.
Universal Parks attendance was up.
Really?
Like 14%.
Guys, we need to step our game up. Like Universal is growing and Disney's not.
Yeah.
We got to figure that out.
Well, Disney's growing, just not in attendance.
Yeah, we got to figure that out.
And the headline read, "Did you notice that when you went to Magic Kingdom that it was less crowded?" And I'm like, no.
Yeah, it felt more crowded.
It felt worse.
Yeah. Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That is interesting news.
And it's funny because you were just asking a couple weeks ago about
we just talked about park
theme
attendance.
parks in the world.
Wow. I'm gonna be pissed if Universal takes over.
Will you be?
I'm gonna be upset because I'm gonna be upset.
Well, if anything, maybe it would give Disney incentive to do more things.
Yeah.
And then perhaps we will notice a difference in crowd level for a little bit.
I can for sure help with crowd attendance. I'll figure it out. Just somebody call me. I'll help. I promise. I know people. I don't know.
Who do you
people.
know?
Okay.
All right. And then the last little bit of news was Disney closed a loophole in their FastPass Plus system at Disney World. So, and I didn't know this. This is all news to me. So before they closed this loophole, you didn't actually have to enter the park with a particular ticket to use the FastPass linked to it for the day. So let's say you have a family and 2 family members are going to the park that day, but you reserve fast passes in their name. So now you have 2 additional fast pass tickets that you could use, but they wouldn't be using them because they weren't in the park. But now Disney recognized that people were doing that, and apparently they were abusing it enough to where Disney was like, okay, we need to change this.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, they changed their terms and conditions, and now if they find you doing that, you're going to be locked out of My Disney Experience, which is the app to make fast passes.
Oh my god!
And then you have to go to guest services where
get unlocked.
They're going to investigate to see what happened.
Oh wow!
And apparently, if they catch you, you're not going to be able to make fast passes anymore.
Yeah, you'd be banned from Disney.
Yeah.
I wonder if that would lead to like you get caught and then you have to make like a fake identity to get back into Disney.
Like just make a whole new account.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true. Loophole.
That's another loophole.
Just gonna make a new account.
Yeah, you're welcome, guys.
But speaking of fast passes, it kind of goes into what we're going to talk about today.
Yes. So someone on Instagram said that we should talk about fast passes and talk about the differences of paper fast passes versus magic bands. So that's going to be the bulk of today's topic.
Yeah. And so Richie, I don't think he went to Disney World enough when there were paper fast passes to recognize that there were paper fast passes in general?
Yeah, so fun fact, I actually didn't, like, my entire life of Disney never actually involved fast passes until we started going to Disney together. Because when I went with my parents or it was on a field trip, we didn't have fast passes. It was just like you went to Disney and you waited in line. No matter what the time was, you just went and you waited in line. Mm-hmm. So I didn't even, so clearly I didn't even know, like, fast pass as a whole, like, nevertheless, fast pass paper versus technology.
Yeah. Well, so yeah, when fast passes were first introduced, it was little pieces of paper. You could only get one fast pass at a time, which that was subsequently changed to get multiple fast passes in a day, but they had to be 2 hours apart from each other. So back in the day, it was like that, and it was primarily geared towards the busier attractions, but they put fast passes for a lot of different attractions, even like the slower ones, which I was trying to make a comparison to insurance. It's like they're banking that people are going to make fast passes for the slower attractions, so they'll have enough for the busier attractions. I don't know, it didn't come full circle in my head, so I really can't finish that comparison. But yeah, my best memory with the paper fast passes was me and my brother were waiting at Hollywood Studios to go see the magic of Disney animation and then go to the Animation Academy, which is now no longer an attraction. But we were waiting in the queue, and all of a sudden they roped off us, maybe a group of 30, and it was the year of a million dreams, so they were making dreams come true, and they gave us a ticket that had fast passes for 8 different attractions in Hollywood Studios to use.
Cool.
You didn't have to wait for a certain time. You could just go to all of them.
Yeah.
So
it was
right
like
after
unlimited
another.
fast passes, basically, is what it felt like.
That's what it felt like.
Yeah.
It certainly wasn't unlimited, of course, but
that's what it felt like.
It was so magical.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's like winning the lotto.
It was like winning the lotto.
It's like winning the Disney lottery.
I was thinking probably to myself, like, I never win anything.
Yeah.
This is great.
That's funny.
So if you didn't happen to win the Fast Pass Lotto, to make paper Fast Passes, you had to go to little kiosks in front of the ride in order to get them. So typically what would happen is maybe 1 or 2 members of your party would go to the physical ride and put everybody's ticket in, and then paper Fast Passes would feed out of a kiosk.
God, that seems like
it was a lot of work. Yeah.
Wow.
It was always my brother that did it, so I didn't really notice.
Yeah.
But
Poor Matt.
Yeah. He's fine. He doesn't mind.
Yeah.
Park jogged, so it was okay. So then they introduced My Disney Experience, which involves something called Fast Pass Plus, which is when they went to the Magic Band system.
Gotcha. Okay.
And so it's pretty recent.
Yeah. It's crazy because, when I heard about magic bands, I was like, oh, all the entirety of Disney would be, have a magic band because it's Disney. But so in curiosity, I called Disneyland and I was like, hey, I have my magic band for Walt Disney World. Can I use it in Disneyland? They're like, no, we're still using paper fast passes, but have a magical day. And I was like, what? Yeah. So apparently over in Disneyland, they're still using.
Yeah, which we had a
paper
conversation
passes.
with someone on Instagram about how, because we'd never been to Disneyland, so we didn't know.
Yeah.
So they do still use the paper fast passes,
Yeah.
which is pretty interesting. Because I feel like you always hear a lot of cool new things, cool new foods coming to Disneyland and kind of on the back burner in Disney World.
Yeah.
So very, very interesting.
So what was your experience like, maybe like from the actual switch over? Did you notice anything like really different, or was there like an enlightenment, or how was that for you?
Well, the biggest difference for me was probably getting used to making reservations beforehand, which you couldn't do before. So before, when you made fast passes, you go early to the park and you run around and you get the paper fast passes.
Oh, okay.
And now you can actually have the ability to make fast passes ahead of time.
So that's why you're not very good at making fast passes.
I'm not.
Because I get mad at her when we go, and because she would not, we started doing it more recently, but before, when we made our Disney trip, she would make the fast passes when we got to the park. And then the stuff wouldn't be available, and I'm like, what the hell? And then, so now we're getting better, but now I see why maybe you weren't that good to start off with.
Well,
it wasn't a good transition for you.
Well, honestly, I don't even know at what point I got to that age where I'm using this app on my phone and I'm just like, wait, I don't understand.
Yeah.
it's like teaching my mom how to use iTunes. Like, what do I do? Where did it go?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So cool.
That was a challenge as well.
That was a challenge. Okay.
You know what was interesting though that I read? And it's interesting to point this out. They had to make 2 separate queues in lines for like a fast pass and then just a regular standby line. Okay.
When was that?
Well, that's the thing. So they had to integrate it. And so I read that the first attraction that was built specifically with making a fast pass queue was Mission Space in Epcot.
Ooh, fact.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And then, but it is interesting to think. Well, they had to reroute and
all
stuff.
All the lines. They had to reroute all the lines in the older attractions.
I remember It's a Small World. The Fast Pass line was different than, I forget where it was before off the top of my head. But now they actually have you going through almost the exit way to get to the Fast Pass line.
Wow. Okay. That's interesting.
Yeah, it is.
I wonder whose job that was, like to remap everything.
I don't know.
Or like how many people that took, or if it was like one, like if it was Joe, like yo Joe,
You're charged with this.
Yeah. That's funny.
You want to hear the biggest loophole in paper fast pass system?
What?
You didn't have to. If you didn't use your fast pass, you didn't have to throw them away.
They didn't have like dates on it.
They did.
Oh,
but if you went to cover the date, like let's say with a finger, and just show, they didn't really look that hard.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which could throw off everything.
Which I mean,
throw off the whole system.
Now, as an adult, I feel a little bit guilty.
Yeah.
But occasionally, we would test the system to see if it would work, and it worked.
Messing up the system.
I know, and now I feel bad because I know. Well, it wasn't as busy back then as it is now at the park.
That's
so,
true, but still.
Yeah.
So now we're in magic bands and fast passes.
Yeah.
Technology is taking over.
And now everything's integrated into your Magic Band. And I heard that the reason why they wanted to do that was because they felt guests had too many things in their pockets. And you think about it too, if the person who's running around to get the paper fast passes is carrying all the fast passes for the party, and you have 5 people in a party and you can get 3 rides, that's 15 pieces of paper that are flying, in your pocket.
Yeah.
So it definitely makes it more simple because you don't have to worry about getting them out of your pocket. Oh, this one's for you, this one's for you, this one's for you. It's just all in your Magic Band, so that's pretty cool.
That's pretty interesting. I feel like it's also definitely, there's so many pluses to going to the Magic Band though. Like paper, obviously making sure the system is followed. But I think it's going to be leading up like to so many different things too. Like in terms of just like the ability, like smart technology and wearable technology.
Yeah.
I think that's going to take a really big turn in like the next probably 2 to 5 years at Disney.
You know what's crazy about fast passes? They're free. Whereas at other theme parks, they're not free. You have to pay for...
Like extra. Yeah, like Wet n Wild, you have to pay extra to get...
Wet n Wild doesn't exist anymore.
Well...
We just learned that.
I know, but when it did, you had to pay for like the express, like...
Yeah.
Going through or whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever that's called. I don't know what it's called at Wet n Wild, honestly.
Well, it does... I don't know.
Well, when it did exist, Jesus.
Just kidding. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to be a pest.
That's okay.
But you know what's another thing that I read at Disneyland? So they still have the paper fast passes, but apparently they're going to. There's something called, what is it? Disney Max Pass, where they're integrating fast pass return times onto your smartphone. But it's
Wait, they're what?
So I didn't see many details about it, but they're going to be introducing it later in this year.
Introducing what?
Disney Max Pass. So what the bulk of the system is going to be that you get a return time for Fast Pass to a ride on your smartphone. I don't know how you do it. I don't know the details behind getting it, except the fact that it costs $10. They're going to charge $10 to do that.
Yeah.
It's very weird. It blows my mind actually that they're actually charging.
Oh, you think that should be something that should be
Well, I don't
free?
know, because I don't know what sets it apart from just a regular fast pass.
But I mean, Disney and most companies nowadays, like if they find a way to save you time, they're gonna charge you for that. Like if it's just pure like you saving time, they might find a way to like charge you for that, I think. So I can see why, you know. I mean, Disney's a business at the end of the day too. I mean, it's magical, but it's like, but you know, it's still a business, and you know, especially if they have to start accounting for things like, you know, 0.5 like less people, that could be like $1 billion, you know, like at some point.
That's
so
true.
I guess, you know, they have to do certain things to try to recoup that. But
well,
maybe it's gonna be a time saver.
It's interesting that you point that out though, because Magic Bands save people tons of time.
Yeah.
But they're not charging for it. It's a part of everything.
But I feel like that's too big of like a systematic change to charge for.
Yeah.
Versus like this is like a super like convenient thing that's, you know, not like part of a big systematic change. Which eventually what would happen is they're probably charging to see like so they can do it on a small scale. And then if it decides to maybe get real big and be something that goes to like the masses, then it'll probably be free at that point.
But you know what's crazy? So look at all you do with your Magic Band. You get into the park with it. And now they don't even have like traditional turnstiles anymore. You have just the little pod Mickey head thing.
Yeah, you put your fingerprint.
And you put your fingerprint.
Which I want to know how accurate that fingerprint thing is.
Oh, it's super accurate. One time they got my mom's and my dad switched.
And they knew.
Yeah.
Whoa, who's this?
Yeah.
Who's that person?
George!
That's funny.
So you get into the park with it. Let's say you go get a coffee. You can pay with it because it can be linked to your card, your credit card. You get into a fast pass line. You use it. And then you're leaving the ride and you have all the on-ride photos. You put your Magic Band to it and then it downloads right into your app.
And here, what's gonna blow my mind at some point, and I'm just glad that we're, you know, experiencing this at the beginning of it. It's just the beginning of it. You know, like this is like they just started that type of thing. And like with the amount of money that Disney has the ability to put back into, you know, research development of programs, your Magic Band is going to be everything at some point. And there's
in a lot of ways
actually,
it already is.
And there's a possibility. I mean, it's tough because I think the Magic Band is a source of revenue for them, you know, just the actual buying of the physical product. But it could turn into like it being connected to your watch, like the Apple Watch and everything like that. But let's just say that it stays within the, you know, Magic Band, you know, technology. That could be, for example, all right, so when we went to dinner or lunch at the place in Disney Springs, what was it called?
The Polite Pig?
Yes. So this place had a technology where on the table, there was, on the underside of the table, there was RFID readers that had a reader in every seat at that table. Whereas and then you got like a buzzer when you ordered your food, you got a buzzer. The buzzer went on the table, and then that buzzer then connected the RFID pads at the bottom, read that buzzer to let the waitress know exactly where that food needed to be delivered, right? So
it didn't even buzz anymore. Like
it didn't even buzz. They just showed up with your food. They knew exactly where you were. So what I think is going to happen is at Disney resorts, but I heard a rumor that they're already doing this. I don't know which places is it happening at, but at every resort, I'm confident every resort that you go to eat, it's going to be a table that's going to have RFID readers on the bottom that's going to be able to connect to your Magic Band. So when you order at the beginning or wherever you order at a computer and scan your Magic Band, when you go to sit down, your order is going to know exactly, using your Magic Band and where you're sitting, exactly where that order is going to go.
I think that technology already exists too.
Yeah, but I'm saying it's going to be linked to the Magic Band.
No. Oh, I see what you mean. I see.
Because yeah, exactly. Because the technology obviously is there. We just experienced it. But it's going to be like in Disney, like it's going to be in Disney using the Magic Band instead of a buzzer. It's all going to be incorporated. Like that Magic Band is going to be so powerful.
And you don't have to be handed this piece of plastic that has a sensor in it.
Because you already have the Magic Band. That's crazy.
Now, something that I was worried about, and I didn't worry about it until after I threw away one of my Magic Bands because I ended up with two somehow, is like all that information that's on that Magic Band. How is it stored? What happens if there's no ticket linked to it?
I didn't even know that. I didn't even think about that.
You figure now you can't even throw away like a Q code with personal information on it without like kind of trying to black it out or cut it up in any way.
Huh, anything about don't throw away your magic bands. It has your stuff on it.
Yeah. Potentially.
Credit card. Yeah, it might have your credit card info. I really don't know how that works.
Yeah.
We got to find that out. It's crazy.
No, but I haven't researched it yet, but it's kind of a scary thought.
Yeah. So I don't know when they did this, but we like the magic bands that we have, I think it was like the first gen magic bands. They're different now. They're like more sleek now. They're a little bit thinner, a little bit wider, like in terms of like the width on your wrist, but they're thinner, like have a low profile. So I wonder what that's going to be like. Like what's the third and the fourth generation magic bands going to be like?
Something
like
cool.
It might be like a little tiny bracelet.
Something cool about the generation that's there now is the center round part you can actually pop out. And you can put it on a keychain, so you don't have to wear it around your wrist anymore if it's not comfortable.
What?
Yeah.
The ones now?
Uh-huh.
I didn't see that. That's pretty cool.
That's because we have the old school ones.
Yeah.
Old school. It's like 2 years old.
I wonder if it'll be like as like, valuable as like what the iPhone 1 is valuable now.
How much is the iPhone 1 valued at?
I don't know. But if you get like a fully functioning one right now, it'll probably be really cool. And like worth more than like what the phone actually cost. Is it
like the big brick cell phones?
No, the first iPhone.
No, I know. But does anybody really find value in a big brick cell phone?
It's like nostalgia.
But that's it.
That's it.
Okay. Oh, yeah, maybe.
Like it'd be like a, like a bracelet. It wouldn't be functional, but it'd be like a decorative bracelet.
Speaking of Apple, if it ever got to that point where an Apple Watch or any smartwatch was linked to your Magic Band and you could do everything with a Magic Band just with your smartwatch, I would consider getting one.
So
only then though.
So which is crazy because now there's actually an app on your watch that you can look up, and we've done this, that you can look up like the wait times of all the attractions, which I think is really cool.
Yeah.
And I just think, I wonder who's making this decision, but Disney would lose out on the profit of, the product of the Magic Band and buying them and customizing them and doing all that stuff. So I'm not sure if they'll ever go over to, the let you be able to do all this with the Apple Watch. I don't know. It would be cool and convenient, but I'm just not sure if it'd be a good decision by Disney to do that. Because then you take away from all the customization and all the other accessories and stuff that go along with the Magic Band.
Yeah. I still feel like people would want to do all that. Somebody who's going to customize a Magic Band is still going to want to have a Magic Band, even if the technology is available on a smartwatch.
Yeah. Plus, most people, for the most part too, the smartwatch isn't on every single person's hand. So then that would mean you'd have to have a prerequisite to by having the watch to have that access. So
well, it's just because some people don't understand why I need to charge my watch at the end of the night like I need to charge my phone.
Yeah. No, that's why I think that the Magic Band will probably be around for a really long time.
Yeah. It would be cool though to see it have a thinner band because I gotta say when it's hot outside, I sweat on my arms and it gets really kind of sticky and hot because it's just solid rubber up against your skin. So it would be nice to have maybe a nice thin, maybe an Alex and Annie version. That'd be pretty cool. Which are the little charm bracelets.
Oh, okay. That would be cool.
That would be cool. Yeah. I'm going to write them.
I'm going to write you a letter.
I'm going to write you a letter.
So what else?
That's really all I got about fast passes and Magic Bands.
Cool. I learned a lot.
Yeah.
This was we went through a whole history of it and then the future of it, current, it was good. I thought that was cool. It was good stuff.
Okay, cool.
All right. What's that?
Was there something else you had written down on your little piece of paper?
Oh yeah, that's right. I almost forgot. Okay. So I learned some fun stuff about Disney, and so I don't know how this came up, but we heard that a Disney character could call you on your birthday. If you could set up a service or whatever. So apparently they're not doing it anymore, but you used to be able to do it for a fee. It was $2 and something that you can have a character call you on any day for your birthday and wish you happy birthday, which I was like, oh my God, that's awesome. But they stopped. They don't do that anymore. But at Walt Disney World, what you can do is if you're staying at a resort, at check-in, you can request Goofy to call someone on their birthday. So Goofy's the character that handles all the guest relations at, like he's a representative that handles the guest relations at the Walt Disney World Resort. So if you're staying at a resort and someone's birthday and they would like to be said happy birthday by Goofy, you can set that up. Also, in Disneyland, you can set up you can write characters. So there's an address that you can write to a character and then they can write you back. Like if you say it's your birthday, then they might write you back, a character write you back saying happy birthday. That address is 1313 South Harbor Boulevard in Anaheim, California, 92802. So if you're writing this down, it's 13. All right, let's start over. If you're writing this down, it's 1313 South Harbor Boulevard, Anaheim, California, 92802. That's a Disneyland Resort. You can write to them a character and then they will write you back.
It's pretty cool.
Which I thought was pretty cool.
I mean, maybe when Mackenzie, our niece, when she's a little bit older, we should definitely have her write.
Yeah, for going on her birthday.
She'll be blown away
That'd
when
be
they
pretty
reply.
Cool. She'd easily be like a Disney lover, for sure.
Oh, she already is.
Yeah.
Her favorite thing was a bubble wand that we got her in a shape of Mickey.
Oh my god, the bubble maker. The bubble makers are like the best thing for kids, but like the worst for all adults around. Like after minute 2.
Well, when you try to take them away, because you have to get on a ride, that's the worst. Yeah. Wow.
That's all I got. That's all you got?
That's all I got.
Awesome. Well, don't forget, subscribe. If you're listening on iTunes, please subscribe, give us a rating. Let us know how you feel about it. Or if you're watching on YouTube, also subscribe, give us a like, let us know what you think about it.
Thank you everyone for listening, for watching. We hope you have a super magical day wherever you are.